So we're hoping we're live. It says we're live, but it says
there
we
there's
go.
30.
We got people watching.
Hey y'all.
So I think OBS, what we usually use for all this stuff, was mad at us for having used Streamlabs OBS for a while because it was being quite temperamental. Who's calling now? Oh, Caleb's calling. Hello, Caleb. Yeah, what's up? You can talk to people.
Okay, hi. I was totally eavesdropping on what Caleb was saying.
No, you cannot go to County Market. No,
my hair is not pretty.
It's
You
dark
cannot
now.
ride
It's dark now. You need to come back.
That's not
now.
okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry. 13-year-old's out riding his bike. He just asked if he could ride to County Market, our local grocery store, which is like a few miles away, and it's already dark.
And you have to go over an overpass over the interstate, and he seems to think that that's like totally okay. And there's like no side things for
like I'm scared for the pedestrians going across there. Yeah, so
he's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, at least he called to ask, and I'm like, no, you need to come back.
But just because we said no.
See, you guys get to see that's what's special about the members and patrons superheroes all getting to chat together.
Can you see the frustration in my face?
Yeah.
The kid 13 is tough. I mean, we were all teenagers at one point in time.
Anyway, it is what it is. So we're gonna say hi to everybody that's on so far that we see. So Lori, good to see you up on here. Slow Mama. Always a pleasure. Francis in the house.
Emperor King.
Kathy Falk. Good to see
Walters.
You. Yeah, Professor Walters was on here earlier. Irish Wars. I feel your pain about travel. Tough. Musing have been live. Hello. Irish Kegel. Hey, how are you doing?
Hi Megan. Hi Rachel. Ronnie Dove. Hey.
Mohammed. Good to see you, buddy.
Core 22. Oh,
you're up late tonight, buddy.
What? He's in Hawaii.
MGH 97.
Oh, Mo. Yes, Mo is late.
Orlando?
Thank you for joining us so late.
Nick Peterson, good to see you. Chris Frankie in the house.
Yeah.
Eric Brown, always a pleasure. Ryan, good to see you, buddy.
Fierce Mice. Eric. Michael Mon. Hello. Hi. Christian.
Billy Rubens in the house.
Christian is moving quite soon. He's probably busy packing.
Nick Barnett, it's good to see you.
Purdue, Kathy, Katie. Oh, hi, everybody.
So we got everybody here.
Finley,
Katrina, always a pleasure.
All right. So, yes, I'm terrified of having a teenager if they'll be anything like I was at this age, says Nick Barnett. Let me tell you something.
Good times all the time.
I was an angel.
So I had to shut the garage door and get that. I'm like, so we better unlock the main door, front door, so we can come in. Because we're like, what can I get in? 30 to 30 is tough, as Kathy Fox says. Yes, thanks, Kathy. I appreciate 30.
Is that what you said? Shut the front door. I'm not gonna make it.
What's up, Sue? What's up, Dano? Oh, look, Derek's in the house.
Hey.
Obviously, the better half because he's on.
Take it down a notch, dude. Oh, but you're always on, and I'm like sitting in your ear, listening and talking.
I know we were on there last night, dude. Derek Johnson was just cracking up, like, "Oh, there's that." Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Mark had to make a lot of comments for me because he's better at that than I am.
Jeremy's bringing the whiskey, even though it's not Wednesday. I appreciate it. I just got beer right now.
I have a lemonade, but it's lemon flavored bubble water with lemon vodka. Deep Eddy's lemon vodka and limoncello LaCroix is like my new.
But not lemon LaCroix. Oh no, not lemon LaCroix.
Because lemon and limoncello are two.
The thing is, I didn't go to the fancy grocery store, so they just had lemon, so I got that. So there is that. Hey, Josh Bars, good to see you. Liz, nice to see you as well. Don't worry, Derek already popped on. Let me know what's up.
Chandler Bing, your first one. Welcome.
What's up?
Paul, hi dear.
Paul, what's up? Paul Tipton's here. Yeah, Paul's on a fire lately.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Amaretto sour. Oh my gosh, Scorpio Sue. I haven't had an amaretto sour in about a month of Sundays. Check that. Probably
for me, it's a month, and then I was in college, so it's been a while. Ooh, mojito time from Francis. Are we drinking more tonight than we did on Whiskey Wednesday? I think now that people
it's Frisky Friday.
There we go. Yeah, no, it's been a crazy time. I think things are starting to open up. We're all getting a little bit more like, okay, let's go have some real live kind of stuff.
Everybody's got the itch. My dad went golfing today. I just got off the phone with my dad. Literally hung up with him and then went live. And he said that he and his wife went golfing with their friends, and their friends had a cart, and they had a cart. And he's like, it was just so amazing. He's like, it's some of the best golf ever. I didn't even play well, but I got to be with my friends.
And I've seen so many people on Instagram and Facebook just so happy to be able to like go to a restaurant and go do stuff again. We can't do that in Illinois yet, but I was very happy to see a lot of people. We got to go. Yeah, well, not well. Golf. I think golf
is open.
My dad has gone golfing by himself, but he's been going golfing. So my mom's like, "Thank God." But she's not on yet, so I can say that out loud. And my dad almost would have heard that sentence,
right?
So
Mark Finley says they're in trouble because Terry bought OJ, and April asked if they were making quarantinis. Whoa!
Oh, you guys got to make that. So tomorrow we're having. Justin's gonna. So Justin's channel is growing. We're filming a bunch of stuff. So when we get the channel going, there'll be enough videos on there to make it worth going to instead of just one video. We'll have a few videos up and set up before we get going.
Although I think in all of them I've said, "Hey, Jocelyn with Walter's World," and it won't be with Walter's World.
But you know what? It's okay because it's the new channel. People will be like, "Wait, don't I know that lady? Yeah. Don't I know that foxy lady from somewhere?"
Ooh,
like, "Oh, that's
foxy.
right.
That's a good
She's
word.
with the chubby guy." And like, yes, that's right.
This guy and I went on a 3-mile walk this morning, and it was good.
Can you see my face? It's all red.
Megan Morris is having vodka with pineapple seltzer and a splash of pineapple juice. That sounds excellent.
Fancy.
Absolutely.
Hey, Chris Bates, good to see you, buddy.
Flavored bubble waters and seltzers and things that are coming out are so good. I miss the seltzers though up in the Northeast. Of the
New
US.
England. Yeah, New England's got a whole other level of seltzer. Like I know people like White Claw. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
No.
Seltzer in New England
but seltzer
is
water.
I know.
Alcoholic.
I know.
It's
so much better.
Yeah.
Kathy Fox getting ready to win the lottery. Nice.
Really?
Nice. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Can you buy me an RV?
Some music have been like, hey, my brother lives in Bolingbrook. He said there's quite the scandal with the mayor. Yeah, the governor. Yeah, the governor keeps leaving his wife and family keep leaving the state. So
yeah, they're going. No. Did you not see the thing
they were to
today?
Wisconsin and Florida. No.
Oh no, they have Illinois road construction employees. It's a company. It's not the states, but he's sent them up to work on his property in Wisconsin, and people are.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Hey, my tax
and his wife's been in Florida, like back and forth, like several. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter.
So Eric Brown says they're open, but no bowling or Top Golf. Then what's the point of being open? Dang it!
Oh goodness.
So Chandler Bing about to pour up some 30-year Sandman Portland. I've been to Sandman in Port. Well, not Port. Some guy on the other side of the river. Yeah. Still working, but from home, and it's the freaking weekend. That's right, buddy. Ronnie Dove, good to see you, buddy. Just a couple Bud Lights for me. Awesome. Very nice, man.
U.S.
Katie
Marine
Smith.
Corps, thank you for your service. He is retired, or she, I don't know. They are a retired Marine in Hawaii. I think that sounds like a really nice place to be right now, right? Yeah.
Oh, so Katie Smith, I enjoyed the chocolate ball recipe you made, Jocelyn. I forgot what it's called. Brigadeiro. And bought the ingredients to give it a try. It looks like it's a lot. It is a lot of stirring.
But that's all it is. I mean, it's such a simple recipe. I'm trying to keep a lot of things fairly simple, at least at the beginning, until I get the hang of this. But I do love the idea of just being able to give. Oh gosh, you made that bigger.
Yeah, but I don't
know.
know.
The font bigger. I can.
But
read.
I can't get it to actually show what we actually said. Dang it.
Oh.
Because so. One of you was very wonderful and told me how to make the words, like the words you have here. We have like just as small on our computer, and I said, hey, you can open it up in a new window and then zoom into it and get that. But I can't get it so it actually shows your name. So I'm trying to get this to work.
But someone said, when does Illinois not have a problem with its government alderman? Well, yeah, Illinois kind of got some issues, right? So whatever, it is what it is. Somebody said 3-day weekend, yay. And I'm like, wow, that's, I don't even think about that at this point anymore because Mark's done with school for a minute. And so everything's like the weekend. And everything is also like a work day. Like every day is half and half. There's playing and there is working. So, and now Mark is doing things and I can't see any of what you're saying.
No, it's okay. It's going by. I'm just seeing if we can zoom in.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it zooms in, but we can't get the whole sentence.
Well, hold on. Christian said Brigadeiro Lethbridge Stewart. How does he know that?
Because he knows we talked about that.
Have we talked about that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So, okay, so I made it so big that we really can't see you. We can see your words, sort of, but it's so big that we can actually almost read it.
Whatever.
So we got to scroll back a little bit. Yeah, let's just hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Couple Bud Lights.
Nick Barnett's good for you guys. I did a lot of walking today too. Amazing weather here. Yeah, it's nice. We've had
a good
we've
day.
had week. I mean, remember about 3 or 4 weeks ago there was like that nice week we had.
It was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, for whatever. And then it where we are, it just started to rain and rain and rain. Like our backyard, like grass in the back is dead because it drowned.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, Megan Morris is talking about a gallon of the Manfrotto South or something tonight. Yeah, because they're on the fancy side of Chicago.
Yeah, right.
They get that
Hey,
stuff.
Thomas.
Oh, man.
Yeah, okay, hang on.
Oh, Francis went ahead to the campground this weekend, but we have a tent and it's supposed to rain all weekend. Oh, man. Yeah, RV. Oh, hey, so for the RV stuff, so my buddy, well, Jocelyn's met him too, but I know a bit better. Grant and Bonnie, they were in the, it was AAA, I thought I put a AAA travel, but AAA Living. If you get the AAA magazine, Grant and Bonnie from Our Wonderfield Life, they do RV travels all over the U.S. and they do like all the National Park Service stuff. And so they were actually got featured. It was really kind of cool.
Hey, Carlos, you made it. That's
awesome. Carlos in the house, man. I haven't seen you for a while.
Welcome to the
doing
party,
well.
dude. Oh, Chris said it's a really crazy week for him. I'm sure things
Bless you, man.
crazy.
I'm glad you're doing okay, buddy.
I think that we are going to try and do an RV. So we've got a few things to work out, but my dad,
Yes, Tom, you're right about Illinois.
Most of my family owns car dealerships.
Well, runs them.
Ford.
Yeah.
Ford.
They're not like Empire stuff.
No, I mean just whatever. It's just everybody went into the car business because Greeks, we like to sell things and we like to cook things. It's all we do. So anyway, right?
Right. I'm going to get another beer because I've been
drinking
for a while. So it's going to be a fun night.
I was like, Dad,
I'm channeling Derek.
I was like, Dad, do you guys have do you have any RVs on the lot? Like, can we manage that? So he's gonna see what happens, call the uncles and the in-laws and outlaws and whatever, and see if there's possibility because they're pretty expensive. That's all I have to say about that. Nick is in a gap between grad school studies and summer teaching. Oh, so every day feels like the same day of the week. Yeah. If you're gonna do all that, if you're gonna go into teaching, that's kind of how it always gets to be, for at least 3 months out of the year. Emperor King is trying to learn Mandarin. You know what I loved about Mandarin is it's really okay. Here's what's hard: that inflection thing. Sometimes you say something wrong, and instead of saying
ni hao,
taxi,
yeah.
If you instead of saying the word for taxi, you're actually saying the word for you're an asshole.
Well, it's not like that, but it's something.
It's not, but it can be. I mean, there are words that. But once you get those things down, you don't have to conjugate anything. It's I want go tomorrow.
Yeah. I eat today. I eat tomorrow. I eat yesterday.
I eat yesterday. There's no. That is that makes it so much easier.
So Nick Peterson, I love that. You can go. There's a bar in Boston. It's the only spot where you can have a drink of cold Sam Adams while looking at a cold Sam Adams. Because he's buried right across the street. And that is not in Texas because Mark Finley is melting, my friend. Oh, for those who don't know, Mark Finley is also a rock star.
Yes, he is. We all know that.
If you look on the Superheroes Facebook page, on our last little chats together, he has a video with the comments turned off, sadly, of him rocking and rolling. So, though he's the bassist, but because usually bassists are like this. He was like moving around a bit too much. I'm like, that's more like keyboarder.
My uncle was a bassist for a group called Black Knights Rising and other random things. What else did Elliot play in? Elliot Rubinson. Check him out sometime. He's my cousin's my second cousin's husband, but in our family he's my uncle. That's just the way.
That's just how they roll.
It's easier. Well, if people are older, they should be your
I
aunt and uncle.
know.
It's a respect
I
thing.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Oh, Francis, we understand the student loans. I won't tell you how old I am, but we paid off my student loans last year.
Yeah, what was it last year or the year before?
I think it was 2019.
I thought it was
Only 400 years after I
2018,
graduated.
Yeah. But we're done. So now we just have a house and 2 cars.
Christian says,
We
when are
paid
you
off the
coming
furniture.
to do a show in my town? Well, which town? LA or
Memphis. Well, all I know is I just put up shocks in Memphis. I still have to put out the don'ts in Memphis. I got the food. I guess the only thing I have left for Memphis is like the mistakes of Memphis. So we can come there for that. It's funny. There was one person that got on our Belize videos and they commented like 15 times. And like, are you repeating all the same videos? I'm like, no, if you notice, the shocks one is more funny things, culture things. The don'ts is more serious stuff. And the what to know before you go is just the basic bare bones stuff. And so there's different stuff in each of them to help people out. But it was funny how they were like all
look
upset.
at what Mo said.
I'm trying to convince Derek to grow his hair up to his shoulders and get him a convertible long hair. That's right. That's right. Mo, you got that. We'll get him down there. We'll get him for that. So, Liz, are you still looking at doing Route 66? So right now things get a little crazy. You can ask Derek about that. I actually was talking to him earlier today.
We're talking about, maybe UP, maybe some Route 66, but everything's kind of contingent on one thing right now.
Yeah.
And until we know what that answer is, then we're just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
And apparently drink and talk to y'all. That's what we're gonna do because I like it.
Oh, good. Mark Finley's gonna post his rock and roll band.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a nice little cover band. Though, if you ever get a chance to check out Mark. When you watch the video, go to his channel. He's actually got some really nice stuff where he's playing with his family and his friends and stuff. So it's really nice.
His channel. You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's where his videos are on. Like, okay, if you post videos on YouTube, you have a channel.
I thought you were talking about on Facebook.
Yes, but he posted the YouTube link.
I didn't know. You never said the word YouTube. Is that one word or two? It's one word. Shut up, Jocelyn.
That's right. Oh, Paul can hear us now. Good.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's right. So Liz is pointing out that Derek cannot grow his hair out because of work.
There are those rules for some people.
Yeah,
Michael Mann's going to have a mullet.
Mullets are coming back because my hair is getting dangerously close to that now.
They are going to be back because nobody can get their hair cut.
Well, I notice I actually can notice mine's getting longer.
Liz says, what? They went out of style.
Well, yeah, they're still living the hockey 2015 Blackhawks days up there.
And Emperor King is learning to read and write Chinese simplified.
That's cool, dude.
Insane, dude. That's so amazing.
Oh no, Mark, the comments off was on the YouTube video, not on the one you posted on Facebook, but I'm glad it's there.
Oh, Scorpio.
Oh Sue. Yeah. Scorpio Sue is talking about the passports that got depressed going to the government site. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, Liam's is due in like 7-8 months, and there's no way we're gonna get back in time to go travel and do stuff. So we got to figure out how this is gonna work because it has to open up again. But yeah, if they can move it to where it's the point where it's not like people are working again and they can start working on the backlog, then I think maybe you get a chance if you can go to a passport office to get a new one. But
and it used to be pre-COVID, if you went to your state, your federal rep, if you went to their office in your whatever one's most local to you, you often could get a passport in like 2 weeks. Yeah. They have a way to rush it through, and they don't do it always. And Lord only knows what that's going to be like now, if that's going to happen or not.
Well, that's just the thing, because usually people go for their passports in time for summer travel. So you figure people had already bought their summer travel stuff. So everyone's sending their passports in January and February to get their new ones in time for summer, and they're all just sitting in the luggage, in the mail.
Habit Master.
Habit Master, hey, how are you?
Had a Grillapalooza.
Nice.
We had chicken tonight too, but I just threw it in the oven.
Yeah, the boys were actually very happy with it. Caleb made his own rub today.
He did.
And I was talking to a friend of mine. He's like, "Wait, he made his own rub. We got to eat that." Because you can't. You got to bring that's you got to rub. You got to bring it.
And he did a great job of critiquing himself. He's like, you know what? There's too much salt. But if I remake it and I put less salt, it'll be good. I'm like, all you have to know with rubs and spice mixes is the proportions. And once you get those right, just remember it. Remember what you did. That's the hard part for me. Somebody's going to Alabama. I saw the word Alabama.
Actually, I've had quite a few
and you
friends.
know what? When I see the word Alabama, I just think, go Dogs! Oh, there's a Buc-ee's in Alabama now. That's right. It's a big thing. They got one. Eric, you're going to enjoy Buc-ee's. It is a 3-hour drive.
You have to get the picture with Buc-ee's mascot. If you don't have that, you didn't actually go.
It's a beaver. It makes me giggle.
Oh, Francis, I bet you had a few snowstorms up there. My goodness.
Well, and Francis is going to do it.
Oh, Gallivanting gals are heading to the lake.
Oh,
you ladies enjoy.
Girls.
Good to see
Which
you.
lake is that?
Well, they're driving.
I know, so I want to know what lake it is.
I wonder who's driving. Is Tracy driving?
Yeah.
Shocking.
You know what? We all have that. I drive, Mark navigates. It's the way it goes.
Because people with M names are awesome.
Melinda navigates. Oh, is that it?
Yes.
Melinda's take the wing? Is that what it is? The M's. Melinda, Mark, M's.
Amazing.
Oh, because you're amazing.
Amazing. That's right.
All right.
You girls be safe. Paul Tipton. The gray's coming out my hair. I'm starting to look like a ginger badger.
That's funny.
Oh, snap, dude. That's funny. Purdue, I was surprised to get an email from Emirates saying they're flying again as of May 21st, including U.S. airports. Yeah, there are some things that are open, and some of the borders that are closed are open if you fly in, but they might have the 2-week quarantines and stuff like that, so make sure you're checking these things out. I know for us, looking at our stuff, like you can't drive across Canada, but you can fly into Canada. And then like some place, like the UK is going to have the 2-week quarantine and also random checks to make sure you are quarantining if they see you out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I mean, for us, I don't know. It all depends on that question.
Emperor King, Mark and Jocelyn, I have a question. Is it easier to learn Mandarin from courses or live in China? It is always better and easier if you're immersed in it and you're living in the place. However, if you have no Chinese background or any Asian background, I'm just going to make it general and say Asian background. China, particularly, even for other Asians, is a very different sort of culture. So it's difficult to get all of that at the same time. I wasn't trying to learn Chinese. I did learn some while we lived there. But that learning, just getting the culture was a really, really hard time. So I would just say get a little bit under your belt, and if you want to go live there, go do it, and you'll learn 10 times more. But
I would say get the basics down before you go.
Basics,
and you want it's interesting because like I took a 2-week intensive Chinese course before we went, and I could understand a few things. I could say a few things, and not everyone understood me. But it did help a lot, and I think but I was working, I was teaching about 8 hours a day, so I didn't get a chance to really practice a lot, so I think I would have got a little bit more out of it. So but cool.
Oh yeah, Nick Peterson only took 3 weeks to get your passport last year.
Yeah, last year.
Different ball game this year, man. Right? Be glad you did it last year.
Yeah. Yes, Liz. Caleb will be good at cooking. He's got
my kids have never not been in the kitchen with me. Also, I'm really stuffy.
Yeah, Ryan was saying I ruined my passport a few years ago by mail, a few years back, and it had it back in a month. Yeah, so we used to our favorite lady Thomas on here knows her, Betty Lou. She would hook us up with passports all the time, and we'd get them like 3 weeks.
It sound like his black market.
Yeah, but
she hooked us up with a passport.
Betty Lou could hook up, and you need something through the mail.
Betty Lou
took care of you. She was amazing.
Retired, and that breaks my heart.
I think Mark retired too. So we get our
and
mail
the new
people are gone.
Are not.
They're not up on it.
They're not bad. They're just not Betty Lou and Mark.
I know.
That's all. Barbecue special Sunday night. Ooh, gals, that sounds good.
Yeah, they got a pit master coming on.
I know, that sounds really good. I love me some barbecue. Y'all know that I ran a barbecue festival, Blues and Barbecue in Savannah, and I learned so much about barbecue. I mean, I would be there at 4:00 in the morning when those guys were firing those things up, and I went to Sam's with them, and we bought all the different spices, and like, I mean, it was just such a great time, and it was so incredible.
Wait, Tracy is typing, not Melinda. So Tracy, you're driving and texting?
That's not
That's
good.
not safe.
Chris says,
Bates.
one time I had a trip to Costa Rica, and 1 week before my trip, I noticed my passport was expired because it was for work. I was able to go in person to get my passport in 1 day. Yes, it happens occasionally. Michelle Forbes, hello, late lurker. Welcome to it.
Where is she? Where's that one?
Oh,
there's
right
Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
And one of my good friends, her last name is Forbes also. And she tells me that all the Forbes in the United States are very distantly related at some point because I don't know, whatever.
So Nick Barnett's, all right, found some fruit punch, which kills the taste of all alcohol, by the way, to pair with some gin. Good call. Since I didn't have any tonic or much else to use, it's not bad, actually. Exactly, because fruit punch takes care of everything.
And
it's
tang.
Amazing. Tang,
so in college,
ginger ale,
one of my really
ice.
good friends, one of my very best friends in college, he was nuts. But he used to take a cup full of vodka like this with ice, and then he just dumped dry tang into it until he couldn't taste the tang.
Till he couldn't taste the tang?
I mean, until he couldn't taste the vodka. So, yowzer. He was a drunkard. I love him to pieces, though. I love Texas brisket. Chris Bates was saying about Texas barbecue. I love brisket in Texas more than anything. I love pulled pork. In like Savannah, like the South. Oh, hook 'em horns.
Is that how they do it?
No, it's like this.
This?
Yeah, whatever.
It's not hang loose.
It's more like.
Oh, that's why all the California people went to Texas, because they were like hang loose. Okay.
Or maybe it's this. Oh no, it's this.
Slow mama with the Ohio IO. Christian Valdez, Katie is amazing at cooking. I can make food that is edible. Hey, you know what? That's a good start, buddy. It's a good start. Water.
As long as it's edible.
You can go cold with water. You can go warm with water.
Christian, you'll have to watch my stuff, and I'll teach you about the cooking.
Yeah,
right?
Tom. Yeah, we know it's a whole new crew in Savoy. I know. They're nice. It's just it's just not the same.
It's just not. Did you learn Danish before going to Denmark? Is it necessary?
I did not live in Denmark.
Tell the stories.
What about?
Don't they all think you're Danish?
No, when I was in Finland, they all thought I was Swedish.
Oh.
And they're like, we just thought you were a stupid Swede.
And I thought Mark Walters was...
No, that's Norwegian. That's the Dutch. The Dutch always think I'm wrong.
Walters is...
Because Mark Walters is like John Smith in England. Mark Walters is like... If you told somebody your name's Mark Walters in the Netherlands, they're like, yeah, right, that's your real name. Whatever, dude. So Nick, when I lived in Finland actually, and I did not learn before I went because there was no way to learn. I actually got a record because I'm old. I got a record from 1954 about learning Finnish from the library. It didn't help. It didn't help.
So Mark doesn't speak Danish, and yes, you can go to Denmark without.
Oh yeah, you don't need it all, dude. Their accent will be more native than yours, my friend.
No kidding. All of Scandinavia, I think, has the most perfect, beautiful accents. They just do so well. My aunt's last name is Forbes. See, the more you know. They live in Missouri now. Cool.
Yeah. U.S. Marines Corps 22, Jocelyn, male. There you go.
Thank
I'm
you.
actually my first time in your stream. I'm going to enjoy it. My wife. She's in the Navy. I have a military family. Awesome. Well, thank you to her.
That's very cool.
As well for her service. That is awesome.
We know that it is the entire family putting in.
Amen. And and you really have your real whole family in there. That's
My brother-in-law is.
Cheers, brother.
My brother-in-law is Army, and I know what a toll it takes on my sister and my niece, and it's a big thing. It's a very big thing.
So Sue, my brother lost his passport 2 days before his class trip. We had to go to downtown Chicago to do his passport. I actually know exactly where you went to, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
Waited 6 hours and they spelled his name wrong.
Oh, shoot.
Add another 2 hours, yeah. Yeah, I think to get Liam's, I'm going to have to take him up there. Well, actually, we're both going to have to go when they open that thing up to get him a new one.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a weekend, or it's gonna be a week up there.
Nick, you think that vodka doesn't mix as well and it's stronger than gin?
I don't know. I'm not, see, okay,
I got
so
really sick on gin once though. So like now, I mean, it felt like I was vomiting up like Christmas trees. When I was 22, my dad and I just started drinking martinis, and
yeah, I've never gotten a
I
gin.
could not keep up with.
So fun thing. There's a place in London where you have all these gin joints you go to, and so we went at gin joints.
Say it again.
Gin joints.
One more time.
Gin joints.
Done.
And my buddies took me there. I was like, oh, well, you're in London, you gotta have the gin. And I'm like, I hate gin. And after a night of drinking gin, where you're supposed to drink gin, I still hate it. I'm like, no thanks. Like, I'll try one more. Oh, yes.
I have found some really great 1920s cocktails. I was reading these cozy mysteries. If you guys know what those are, they're just like not scary mystery stories. But they were all set in the 20s, and every one of them featured a different cocktail that they were drinking. And so every time I went and looked it up and I learned about them and whatever. And so I've got all sorts of weird things that go with gin now. And most of the time I end up mixing it with vodka because I don't like the gin.
So Laura, I've been doing barbecue with a cookie pan for tacos, taters, etc. Easy, it does not mess up the kitchen. Yeah, it's always about finding a way not to mess up the kitchen. I know. Oh, Chris Bate went to Arizona State, so you're a party animal, I bet. Yeah, see, there you go. I went to Arizona State, so Everclear and fruit punch was a staple. There you go. See, I guess I just should have read the whole sentence. It all makes sense now, Chris. It all makes sense. Nick D's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Nick. Oh,
Mark Finley. Okay, so Mark Finley, be careful, Mark. Cooking channels start out small and simple, and then all of a sudden you realize you need a whole new kitchen setup for production. Oddly enough, that conversation has been had in our house multiple times this week.
And but here's the problem.
Because I can't do it because I'm too tall, but what we have will work for her because she's short enough.
But the thing is, like when you're filming and you're cooking on a stove, you need that stove to be in front of the camera. The stove needs to be between you and the camera, right? Well, my stove, like most people's, is against a wall, and I don't want my stove in an island because my island's where I serve all my people all the time.
And that's where we party. So
that's where we have the party. Like if you come to our house, that's where all the food goes. And so, like, I'm like, I can't just go and add that. I mean, that would just, I don't know. Anyway, so maybe we're just going to have to build a second kitchen in the basement. I'm joking. Totally joking.
No, I have it exactly right because the lights we have comes down and I can move the camera angle just so it goes right underneath the lights. Like, I can't do it because it doesn't work.
I have to cook and talk like this. It's, like, weird.
Oh, that one.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You're a real-life cooking person. You're not one of those people.
That's the thing. I really am.
Yeah, Nick Barnett. Yeah, it's so easy not to speak the language in Scandinavia. Their people are so good at English there with very little accents.
Who is like? Oh, they're live streaming the summer solstice from Stonehenge.
Yeah,
dude, I want to be there for that. I mean,
well, you'll be online. Oh, Rachel Seitz. My dad says 100% Dutch. We want to go to the Netherlands. Any thoughts?
Do it.
Do it. Don't feel you have to stay in Amsterdam though because it's really expensive to stay there. Stay out in like Leiden or Utrecht or Haarlem and then go in. It's like a 15-20 minute train ride. And it will save you like honestly like it could save you like $100 a night.
Hang on before you move it because I want to answer something else.
Okay.
Utrecht is my preferred place to stay. Haarlem is really great, and it would be my second place, except that it's really residential. So Utrecht has like a little more stuff to do outside of, just staying. Emperor King says, I might live in Guangdong, China, to learn Mandarin and Cantonese. I wouldn't try to do them both at the same time. They're different enough and yet alike enough that might make a really difficult thing. Go ahead and go to Guangdong, but I would try to stick with just one of the two because it'll make it really hard.
Oh, check it out. Michael Lon actually designed a show kitchen for a food service company.
Well, come on down here, Michael, and talk to me.
So, Michael, if let's say we were about to build a new house, we could be like, dude, check out the thing, what they're giving us. Could you let us know if it's going to fall through? Yeah, nice.
I have some thoughts on that, and Michael, we should talk sometime about, the architecture. We really should.
Yeah, Nick Peters said the Danish sweets are calling me so delicious. Yeah, honestly, you know how we all everyone loves Danish. If you get a chance to get a Danish, it's so good. The pastry shops in Denmark are unbelievable. If you get a chance there, like don't get the breakfast at the hotel. Just go out to the bakeries and just go crazy. It's still expensive, but it's still fantastic.
Because it's Denmark.
Because it's Denmark, I know.
Shoot, that just went by. Megan Morris. I had a friend in high school that would only drink peach pucker straight.
Oh my God, I remember that. I don't know how I remember
She's
that.
She's an attorney now.
Well, that went well.
Gosh. Yes, overhead camera angle and lighting. So I have gotten, I have looked up all the stuff to get like the little thing, the arm to hold, Versailles. I know there was that. Over my food, and like we've already got lighting. We've got lighting on right now. Actually, we towed a ring light around our house because
that's how we roll.
Weird.
Habit master, everyone. Tom Collins. Got to respect it. Got to respect that. So Francis has asked if anyone's been to Castle Farms in Charlevoix, Michigan. Picks look like Versailles, or I forget the one in Salerno, or I mixed up. Sorry, too many mojitos. It happens, Francis.
Slow down, sister.
I have not been there. I can't say. I haven't
been there either. A good Tom Collins. You know what? I went to Target a couple weeks ago and I found this grapefruit bubble water. Good and something is the brand name.
Good and Plenty.
It's not Good and Plenty,
but horrible.
Great and Good. I don't know, whatever it is, but it was so good with vodka.
So Nick Barnett had a bad experience with rum as a child. Yeah, I had one with tequila. It took me about 15 years to drink it again, so I understand.
Cozy Mysteries.
There you
go. COZY, Kathy.
Yes, Christian Valdez. Gin does smell and taste like nail polish.
I think it tastes like Christmas trees.
Which is what nail polish stuff smells and
Have
tastes
you ever
like.
gotten nail polish?
No, and I've never eaten a tree,
well,
so I guess there is that.
All right.
See, Habit Master, cheap vodka and a gallon of fruit punch. You just get a juice box and a gallon of vodka. That pretty much cuts the taste there. So there is that. Oh yeah, don't forget the overhead camera angle. Might have forgotten that one. Okay.
Mount a camera above the stove.
Well, you found that. Did you order those?
I haven't ordered it. It's a cool little thing, and you can move it around and stuff, so it doesn't have to be there all the time. So.
Scorpio Sue, all the days of cheap vodka bought from the bottle store. Go Huskies. So when I used to live in Lithuania, when you go to the gas station, they would sell, like if you have kids, they had like the little like Jello cups. You buy the Jello already made, and then you put it in the fridge, and they take it to school, or the pudding things. They would sell vodka like that with a foil top. So you'd go and like rip the top of the vodka or poke a hole in it and do shooters with it. And they would sell that all over the place. They can't sell like that now, I don't think, but like back in the day.
Oh,
you'd see guys.
Still do.
No, the European Union made them stop for a while.
EU.
So.
And they do things like that. I am so stuffy.
Oh, wait. We're jumping around. Sorry if we missed your stuff from before. Tastes like Christmas, no worries. Speaking of bad drinking experience, my shots of spiced rum. Yes, Chandler. Hey, Philippe. Good to see you, buddy. I'm here with my McDonald's. What country other than the U.S. has the best local menu items, in your opinion? For McDonald's, I think Germany does a really good job for local items. Also,
for local items.
Local items at McDonald's.
Always had some interesting.
They had some good stuff. But I think Germany had enough. Like Portugal had a few things, but because in Portugal they had soup and things like that. Mm-hmm. Then you had the pastel de nata, the pastries you'd have there.
Because the Portuguese and their soup.
Yeah, the Portuguese and their soup. But I thought Germany did a really good job of having lots of alternatives going through. Also, China actually had some really cool, different stuff on there too.
Liz asks, for the countries with a 14-day quarantine requirement for new visitors, do you think that requirement might be relaxed by fall at all, or do you think it'll last until there's a vaccine? Well, so a couple of things. I think that it might come in waves. So there have been I've read a couple of different things from different countries where they're thinking about 14-day quarantine until this time, and then they'll revisit it. And if things are better, and the epidemiolog.
So every the ones that you're saying is like every 3 weeks they're going to reevaluate.
Right. So the other part of that, don't move that. The other part of that question that I wanted to sort of address, where did the question go? Whatever. hang on, ADD and vodka. Damn it. What was the other part of that question? Help me out, Mark.
I'm trying to do something for Caleb.
Oh, whatever, Caleb. All right, so I'll just get back to that in a minute. Habit Master, is there any good fishing in the U.S.? Holy shnikes. DM me, ask me where you want to go, and I will tell you where the good fishing is, because that is one of my absolute favorite things ever.
Oh, Michael says you can call.
Okay, but I don't have your phone number.
We'll figure it out. So Jeremy's site, switch on how much of a language you recommend learning when you go to a new country. So way back in the day, we used to have 10 words that tourists should know. So it was like, yes, no, please, thank you, hello, bathroom, where is, how much.
Please, thank you.
Please, thank you. And that, like, right there, you're going to make so many friends. You'll never have to speak the language because people take care of you. So there's that.
Yeah, we've got a couple of good microphones. I'm not terribly worried about the microphones, but yeah, Crown Royal Peach. Huh.
Ginger ale and Crown Royal Peach. There you go.
Hey, Aussie, how are you?
Ooh, Katie is having
mango sherbet, orange juice, and vodka.
This sounds like something my mom used to make me for, like, well, not with a vodka. Maybe it was.
Yeah, we used to do that for parties.
Yeah.
We would do but minus the vodka. There it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, Liz, here's the other part of your question that I wanted to address. Do you think it'll last until there is a vaccine? I don't know, because vaccines with viruses, are kind of hit or miss because viruses change a lot. But I did read today where the U.S. has secured $300 million, and the U.K. has secured, I think, $100 million of this vaccine that is supposed to be coming from AstraZeneca, I think. Look it up. It ran through my feed. I only ran through it really quickly, and I didn't get all of it. But anyway, check that out and see if that answers.
And I just want to know that Chris Frankie likes good gin.
I think it's just Frank, dear.
Oh, I lost it.
Well,
dang it.
Because my dad's Nuno, his godfather, their last name is Frank, and it has an E on it, and they're Greek, and I don't really know where that comes from, except that somebody messed it up.
So Lori Sims, any fast food in Europe better than in the U.S.? So for me, I love Hesburger. Hesburger is a Finnish.
I think she's saying that all European fast food is better.
Any fast food in Europe is better. Oh, fast food. Yeah, actually, this is going to sound weird, but the American fast food in Europe does taste healthier than here. Though McDonald's fries still are number one in the good old US of A because they're extra gluten covered.
Yeah, McDonald's French fries are probably the best fries in the entire fast food fries in the entire world. Do Wendy's in Chicago still have hot dogs? I don't know. Eliz and Derek need to answer that. I tell you what, Wendy's is like my favorite, mostly because I like to dip French fries in Frosties. And one time, my girlfriend Jamie and I went out and we got McDonald's French fries, Wendy's Frosties, and where did we get our burgers? Oh, White Castle burgers, because sliders. That was college, and we just thought it was going to be a fancy night, so we got the best of all the crappy food.
See, when I was in college, when I was a pledge of my fraternity, they would send us out, and people would order. It could just be jerks. They'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I want a Whopper, but I want a McDonald's fry and a Frosty from Wendy's." And so you'd have to go get all the stuff. It was such a pain.
Paul says back in the day with some mates on vacation, we were drinking games with cinnamon shots. Oh God,
it's like Goldschlager. God, we're going back to the 80s and 90s of drinking, 2000s of drinking.
It is, Thomas, you're right. It is fun to try fast food in Europe. And our kids do it all the time.
Yeah, when we go to France, we always make sure we go to Quick at least once.
Yeah.
Quick is like the French McDonald's. I actually like some of their burgers there. Fries aren't as good, but it's a good experience. And they have their toys, like they got like legit Blockus and like Trouble or Sorry games like that you could actually play. That were like, it's like the travel size stuff you buy like for $10 or $5 at Target or or more expensive at the airport. They have that in their
goodie bag.
So that was really nice.
They're, what do you call those? Happy Meals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that a lot. Pomme de pain. Yes, Eric, you're right. Paris does. It's not just Paris. You'll find pomme de pain in other places around France, but it is so good.
So Francis, my friends, since we can slowly start getting back together, want to have an Italian night. Any recipe suggestions? I'm a decent cook, not exactly chef level. Please no spaghetti. So a good big meatball, which doesn't go on the spaghetti. That's a separate thing.
Just shut up, Mark. Just shut up. Who cooks?
Who eats?
Get a big meatball.
Who eats?
Who makes the damn
food? I don't know. Do you trust? Hey,
cram in your pie.
Question: do you trust a skinny chef?
Well, when her husband's chubby, yes. So here's the thing.
Fair enough.
In Italy, meatballs are like this big. They're not quite, well, maybe about the size of a baseball.
No, they can be
baseball size. Sometimes they're bigger. Yeah. Anyway, the best meatball recipe ever is Alton Brown. It's he uses like lamb,
it's legit,
and sweet Italian sausage and beef. Sometimes I can't get the ground lamb, so I just kind of like work up my own thing, and it's got basil in it. But the trick is that he makes larger balls. They're maybe this size. So immature.
They're like elephantitis size.
Anyway,
go on.
So, and he puts them, if you
Laser
get like
focus.
a mini muffin pan, he sets them on top of the mini muffin pan, and you cook them like that. So the fat drains into the muffin tin, and they sit up on top, and they don't get all gooey and whatever. So flipping good.
Yeah.
And I use...
And even if you don't do his recipe, using the muffin pan thing is really awesome.
And I kind of always mess up other people's things. You know, I don't do it exactly the same.
She likes to do things her way.
I do. I have you figured that out yet?
Anyway.
So that's it, and then you can just throw it over any kind of noodle. But the noodles, I like to put just a little bit of truffle oil in the noodles, and you have to be reserved about that. And then just a good hard cheese, whether it's Parmesan or something else. I've actually put Manchego because I didn't have Parmesan. Just something dry and crumbly and salty, and you'll be happy. Okay. Oh, and tiramisu. Is my tiramisu video ready?
No, it's...
Tiramisu is easier than you think.
Yeah, she has good stuff. We're trying to put... So we figured out what email will be attached to Jocelyn's channel. And so we're working on that stuff. We got to
figure out the name. I've got several ideas. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just going to be food or if it'll be some other things.
Yes, Nick, the beer at German McDonald's is better than the no beer at U.S. McDonald's. Preach, my brother, preach. U.S. Marine Corps, it's 3:40 in Hawaii. I was one of the time difference there. It's a 5-hour time difference.
A lot of hours.
We need to get there.
Nick Peterson, Minnesota is a great state for fishing. No joke. My dad caught, my uncle is a charter fisherman on Lake Superior. My dad caught a fish that was as big as my 5-year-old sister back in the day when she was 5. She's now 30. So
well, she wasn't a small 5. She was a strong 5.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah. 5.
She's good. Strong 5. Let's see. Nick Peterson, late night food after drinking's the best. Amen. Oh, that's the thing. So this Whiskey Wednesday, we didn't tie one on like we usually do, but like our usual Whiskey Wednesdays. We've been doing this for 2 months now. Over 2 months we've been doing the Whiskey Wednesdays, and the last like 4 or 5 weeks, it's been like we finish. Caleb's downstairs playing video games, and we're like, it's time for like Jack's Pizza, which is like the cheap pizza you get at the grocery store. We all have a Jack's Pizza. It's like the $2 pizza. So it's like that.
Oh, Dr. Oetker's.
Dr. Oetker. Yeah, dude. I used to eat that all the time.
Favorite.
Oh, good time.
Hang on. So there was something there that I wanted to
Trader Joe's?
No, Purdue said my first phrase to know is I do not understand.
Yeah.
My first phrase is I'm sorry.
Pardon. Je ne comprends pas.
Je ne parle pas français.
Philippe's like, yes, Mark, you are.
I don't speak French, but then I say, je ne parle pas français. Je suis idiot. I'm an idiot. And it works out pretty well. Some people go, oh, no, it's perfect. And then they start speaking in French, and I'm like, no, really, I don't understand. And then they kind of laugh about, other stuff and how I called myself an idiot. But anyway, we can DM Michael on the Insta. Thank you, Michael. A la vodka sauce. That flew by. I just saw vodka sauce.
Oh, yeah, a la vodka sauce is nice.
Food Journeys with Jocelyn. That's pretty good. But what if I do things other than just food? Oh, there's a.
Well, there is a Pret Manger in Chicago.
Shut the front door.
Yep.
Um.
Ooh, it's time for you to get out that Parmesan, Francis.
Francis, get out the Parmesan, and also, seriously, tiramisu is pretty dang easy. Ooh. Really. Crystals is better than White Castle.
Yes.
Well.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
I just can't get crystals up here.
Thanks, gals. Preach.
Yeah.
Philippe points out Wendy's has the best burgers. I love trying McDonald's once in every location. Quick is great. And Max Burger. Max Burger is good in Scandinavia.
But it's not as good as the Hess.
No, it's not as good as Hess Burger. But if you're in Sweden...
Have y'all seen the dance of Liam?
Yeah, just put like Hess Burger dance.
Oh, it's
Waltersville. Liam will like. They loved it so much because. So the first family I lived with when I lived in Finland was a really bad family. Oh, by the way, Darian from German Guide, he says say hi everybody because he can't be on tonight. But the first family I lived with in Finland wasn't the best situation, let's say. And then the second family I lived with, we had like very small dinners. So I would eat a Hess Burger like every day for dinner. And so I would have the Kellos Hamperleitung, which is the floor burger, which is their version of a Big Mac. It's the burger of a Big Mac. Now they call it the Hess Burger in other countries. But so that was my thing. So when we went there, I'm like, we have to go to Hess Burger. So we did. Grandma loves tiramisu. It's different every time. True. Tiramisu, tiramosu,
Musu.
There you go.
Tiramisu. Tiramisu. I don't know.
I like Paul Tipton. I was sad for the McDonald's near where I live in the UK to close a couple years ago. It was in a 12th century building. That's pretty crazy.
I have on my Instagram taken pictures of random McDonald's and been like, you know what? McDonald's may suck everywhere in its own little way, but they have the best architecture in Europe. Like super good.
Because like if you go to Porto, they have like they used to be an old tea shop. They built the stuff in. Yes, Nick Culver's is better. Jossalicious. Oh snap! I'm looking that one up. Is that available?
Oh my god! You just made me snort. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Oh, you're precious. I don't know. Can we do that? Is that trashy? No.
Jossalicious.
That also like I'm kind of like more reserved than that. I know I'm reserved.
Well, I know when I put it in, the first thing comes up is dance moms.
Ooh, it's probably something like on a pole.
No.
Oh my goodness. Aged balsamic. Yes, aged balsamic. There is we have a place in town and they make well, he's a great guy and he imports olive oil and balsamic and they from Greece. And they make all different flavors. And I got fig balsamic recently and put it over some dairy-free vanilla ice cream. And it was the best thing ever. I also have peach balsamic, which is excellent. Also on top of vanilla ice cream. You guys should really try balsamics on your ice cream because it's the good stuff. Wow. Apparently the means to travel all think Jossalicious is the name.
That could be a whole. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, Chris Bates, your how do you say things? That is a good one to do. Yes. Nick Barnett's, yeah, the only reason anyone should ever eat White Castle is if they're freaking drunk out of their mind. Which, oddly enough, is how I eat crystals. So whenever I go to New Orleans with my buddies, I go once a year down to New Orleans, and I always have to hit crystals right off of Bourbon Street. It's not Bourbon Street; it's like next, or maybe it's on Bourbon Street. And I always have to go there. It's like the thing. You gotta get.
They eat oysters.
But I get eat oysters. So during the day we eat oysters and gumbo. But at night after we've been drinking, and I guess it's morning by then, we hit crystals on the way out. But for me, it's the Crystals chicken sandwiches. Their burgers are not the little chicken thingies. For those who know, Crystals is like the tiny burgers, the sliders, like at White Castle.
You don't like their burgers?
No. So Mark and Jocelyn, even me and my wife sometimes have an argument about who cooks too. See? We all have to fight for these things.
But I'm the cook. I mean, Mark makes the mac and cheese from a blue box.
Yeah, and I make it 1,000 times better than you do. Believe me. I don't think anyone will deny that. I don't think anybody. You ask anyone in this house, they will all say, even the dog, be like, Mark. So there's that. Around the World with Jocelyn. There you go. Okay, so Jocelyn. Francis wants to know about tzatziki sauce. Please tell me the correct way to pronounce it.
Tzatziki.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It's kind of like if you were gonna say "tis the season," but leave the I out. Just "tis." Oh, Jack in the Box.
Yeah, Jack in the Box. They're fried tacos. That used to be our thing. We would drive from Savannah, Georgia to Illinois whenever we come back. Or back. There was one outside of Nashville. And that was like the place we would always stop. That was like our thing. Like, oh, we got to stop there. Have the fried tacos. And Caleb, when he was learning how to pee, like without a diaper, he would always eat like we taught him how to pee. He would only pee he wouldn't go pee in the urinal. He would only pee in the grass. So there's like this one spot like this big that has actual grass on it. And so imagine it's like this 2-year-old like butt like pants down, butt out. I gotta pee right here. I can't pee inside. You pee outside. I'm like, all right, dude.
I truly, this is so stereotypical, wrong, redneck Southern girl. I taught my boy to pee outside because it worked out that he was outside playing in the dirt all the time. I'm like, just run around, just go over there and, whatever. It's good. Yes, that's it. Oh, the Hinsdale McDonald's. Did somebody I saw Hinsdale go by and made me think of that. The Hinsdale McDonald's, that stopover. We often have to stop there when we take students on a trip.
Michael Mann, excuse me. I guess you're from Minnesota.
The quarantine. You've just been hanging out with the means to travel kids too much.
That's right. Oh, the Hop's in the house. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Okay, if my Amtrak trip needs to be rearranged from autumn to winter, there'll still be space. Don't worry. Is the Empire Builder or the California Center still with the journey weather-wise? My plan B would be January, February. If you're in the train, either one's fine.
Except
but
that it does. Hang on. Oh no. Is the Empire Builder, that doesn't go through the Rockies, does it? There is one that goes through the Rockies.
Well, either one will be. You'll be fine.
But the Rockies gets a little shady.
Yeah, but the train goes fine. Okay. Like it'll still be pretty. You won't get as much. If you're later in the year, you won't get as much of the views, but it won't be much of a problem.
Are you kidding?
It's dark outside.
Oh, it's
so
dark.
You can't.
I'm like, it's
see.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Next.
I think I should have another drink.
Drink. So the balsamic has gone over well.
Yes.
In Tokyo, McCafe was with macarons. Yeah, that was nice.
Macarons. That's funny.
Yes, Francis. Everything we had in Italy was fantastic as well.
Yeah, we should be like, we would be done with Switzerland now, and I would be taking the boys to Greece to my family homestead.
And I would be going to Austria to go teach.
Days. Mark would be going to Vienna, and I would be taking the boys, and I am not, and that breaks my heart. And this morning, my dad posted a picture of like
Calvin's in.
Hey, Calvin. Cleveland rocks. And my dad posted this picture, and it was his breakfast, and it was like homemade yaouti kimili, the yogurt with honey, and like dry toast, sliced beets, some olives, like a typical Greek breakfast. And I was like, this gives me tears because my baby should be eating that in the house that 5 generations of my family were born in.
7.
5 were born there, and then my papu and my
conceived
dad
was there. It was conceived there. Papu was conceived
and
there.
My papu, and then my dad has slept there, and I've slept there. So 8 generations have slept in that house. So if my children are able to sleep there, that will make it 9 generations. That's freaking awesome.
So Michael Mann, what a train wreck it would be if they had booze at fast food restaurants in the U.S. Yeah, it could go.
Well, maybe if we
weren't
so Victorian about it, then it wouldn't be a big deal.
True, but we are still Victorian in that way.
We are, and whatever.
So Nick Barnett's, yes, if you drink even just one of those hurricane drinks, you'll be right for having some crystals. Yeah, that wasn't a hurricane. That was a blue thing.
It was like
So the hurricanes are so sweet and sugary. Like, man, you get the worst hangovers from them. My gosh, be careful with those. Blue box blues got me bad. Oh, so Derek, whenever I lived abroad, mac and cheese, blue block mac and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese is like my go-to drunk food when I come back home. And my last apartment I lived in, right before Jocelyn came, it was the same place. I live with a French girl and a Brazilian guy, and they always knew if I've been drinking the night before, like a lot, because they wake up like the blue box. They didn't know what the hell it was. Like there would be this blue box. We knew Mark drank a lot because the blue box was there. Because my mom would send me boxes of mac and cheese, so I like was stocked up. So, see, Mark Finley, I cook 90% of the time here, but that doesn't mean Terry can't cook. I just have more time. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like I used to cook all the time. I used to be a really good cook, and then Jocelyn just blew me out of the water, and I just kind of, I'm getting slow. I need to practice up, do stuff, so we can get there. Oh, it just jumped on me. Sorry, guys. Josh Parks, there was one. Hand grenades, there's another one there. Oh god, I never got into hand grenades though. That drink there. Zephyr goes to the Rockies. Okay. Let's see. Are there any kid-friendly European river cruises? So the Habit Masters wants to know about that. In general, river cruises are not super kid-friendly just because the age demographic that's on there. Your kid's going to have like 50 grandparents.
Hey,
so
that's not always bad though.
Which isn't always bad, but you want to make sure there's not going to be a place for them to run around and play, except when they get off the boat. Like that's one thing is the river one goes well. The river boats go well because usually on you're attached. You can go and explore. And they can run around like crazy. You come feed them and head back. So there's that. But I do feel in general, European river cruises are a much more like a mature crowd versus the bigger cruise ships kind of stuff. So let's see.
Nick Peterson, I always love stopping through those toll road Oasis food courts driving through Chicago. I think everyone does.
For spring break and Thanksgiving break, I used to take students abroad, and we'd take the bus from the university town, Champaign, up to Chicago, and we always had to stop at the Hinsdale exit, and we go there so everybody could get something to eat, get back on, then we go, and then we'd fly out because no one wanted to spend like the $9 for the dollar burger at the airport. And when we'd come back, we'd fly back, and so we'd get in late at night. And so we're like, we got to get going. So, when you come in Terminal 5 in Chicago, there's like that McDonald's right when you come out. There's nothing there. So we would get in, the van would pick us up, we get everything dropped off, they'd get us up there, okay, Hinsdale exit, and everyone would pile in. And I mean, it was like carnage. Like, everyone would just pound stuff down. Then we get back in the car, like within like 5 minutes, everybody's out. Because we would get back Sunday night. And so it'd be like Sunday night, they'll have class next morning. So good times.
Tracy had a question about tabbouleh. Tracy, I have not made tabbouleh on my own. I made it with one of my girlfriends who is Palestinian, and it was pretty amazing, but I haven't ever done it by myself. But I could try it and then see if I can make it. You like my nuts?
Indeed.
I made nuts today.
Salty. Mm-hmm. So Josh Parks, is there anything? Good to see you, Josh. By the way. Oh, it's at Malaysia. Is there anything else? Patronus Towers. Is there anything else you guys do at home that you learned about or were inspired to do while traveling, aside from cooking? The languages, a few board games we play, a few games with the kids we play. That comes up.
When we say words, like there are words that we in our family use so much that our kids' friends know. Like if I'm like andiamo, kids and Caleb's like they all know. Let's go. Jocelyn's ready. So language, food. There are games. We have bought games and brought them home with us.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else do? We watch TV too. That like sometimes like Liam loves a couple of shows that are Brazilian. Like just random.
Big.
Random
So
stuff.
yeah. So Sloan Mama and a few people have taught. Like Tom was supposed to be in the UK. Sloan Mama, we should be finishing up packing tonight for our trip to Rome tomorrow. Should be. I know. I had a tough moment the other day. I'm like, we should be someplace. I'm like, I was talking to my buddy because he was the one that was going to go with me to Austria with the students, and I'm like, we'd be there right now. We would be sitting there having a beer, eating haksa. It was just like,
Chris, I'm gonna make that. There was a restaurant that had a summer dessert of strawberries, balsamic, and sour cream. That sounds excellent. Nick, my papu's family is from a little village outside Old Corinth. And my yaya's family is from a village, like, I don't know, 10, 15 kilometers from Sparty. So that is, we're south. Where are you from? Where's your family?
So I'm trying to find out where we're right there.
Right there.
Creators, okay. Okay, so Chris Bates. Oh my God! One time when my older brothers were little, my older boys were little. My son said, "I need to go." I pulled into a hill. He said, "I won't make it inside." I said, "Okay." Behind that bush, he pulled down his pants and took a poo.
That's awesome. We have one of those stories too, but we
Yeah.
can't tell it.
Yeah, because Caleb would be upset when the monkey started chasing him when he was trying to. That was hilarious. When you see a kid go, and the monkey's whatever a group of monkeys sees starts running after him, and he's trying to poop. It was hilarious. Trying to tell us like, dude, you got to get the story down because it was freaking hilarious. Oh yeah, Nick prefers
I've
hand
never had
grenades.
a hand grenade.
Yeah, they go down. They do go down pretty easy because the hurricanes you can just taste the hangover coming. Yeah, as Megan says, they're brutal. Oh man. Oh, Hertz just filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dang.
But is it chapter 11 or chapter 7? Because chapter 11 means they'll stay in business. Chapter 7 means they're done.
So Nick likes the 3-for-1 special on Bourbon Street, 1 cow with a string of 3. I like in Memphis where they had the big signs, big ass beer.
Hang on. Tracy, in case you didn't see this I need to read it because you're listening. Mo says the way tabbouleh is done in the Middle East is chopping coriander, onions, tomato, and using bulgur wheat. I don't remember using bulgur wheat. I don't know that it was bulgur wheat. I'm not saying that's wrong. Tabbouleh.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a grain that I didn't know from here.
Wait, do we have that in Morocco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Everything in Morocco was good. Like
their
the food
was
stupid
really
good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Billy Rubin said, "Holy poop!"
Nick Barnett, bringing the bottle right over to the video desk. That's right. That's how she rolls.
Well, you know what the hell. That one was spicy. It was good nut.
Oh, Michael's in President Circle with Hertz gets up to start shopping around. Yeah. I think here's one thing I think we all should think about. With all those status and stuff like that, they might have it, but all those miles, all those extra things might not buy you as much as they used to because how prices are going to change. Like, I've got like 600,000 miles with Delta. Kayla, because 2 years ago, we used the boys' miles to buy all their flights for the year from 2017. So we used up all their miles. Kayla's got like 80,000 miles, and it's like, it's not going to do much.
So, Michael, I don't know if this will help. I know you travel a lot for work, but Enterprise, I forget they're the equivalent of.
They're still in business.
Yeah, the equivalent of President Circle is like something green. I don't know what it is, but anyway, and
green with envy because you get a car.
It's pretty good. Like, I mean, from what I've seen of it, and I'm not that, so I can't really speak to it, but from what I've seen, it seems pretty good.
So
Calvin
Young, Mark, what is your strategy for your return to traveling? Is the entire family going, or will it be without the kids or solo? I'll discuss what our plans will be. So for us, we buy tickets for the whole family going places, and so when we can travel again and get into places, it'll be whatever. So it's like it's a trip that like the next trip's like when I'm supposed to go, then I'll go. But that's how it is. Like for right now, and especially with
probably
Dina's
this summer we'll take a road trip though.
Oh yeah, for sure we'll do a whole family road trip doing that. Yeah. But like for us, like right now, with how things are, I'm more worried about myself than I am about the kids, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, so there is that.
And Nick D says, the stations with the alcohol slushies and Nola get me down every time. So
get you down for the count.
Can I tell you what I did this week? I took the kids' icy pops. What are flavor ices? You know those frozen things in a. You know what I'm talking about, right? I just cut the top off and I poured some out and I poured rum in, and then I have this little sealer that looks like a
hair crimper,
hair straightener thing, and I just resealed it back up and put it in. One of them I had dumped too much of the juice out, and so I put too much liquor, in there, and it never froze.
Yeah, but she's got a nice starter for the next drink. So Liz says Wall Street Journal's article says Chapter 11 no place for creditors. So cool. Well, not cool, but yeah. Francis is switching from mojitos to JD Peach Cooler. Quite tasty. Got to slow it down. That's right.
Honey, you might want to have a glass of water.
Let's be responsible. It's Friday night. You know, we all have to wake up tomorrow. The Habit Master. Will you encourage your kids to study abroad or take a gap year between high school and college, or no, because they will have already traveled extensively? I would like them to go study abroad. We have friends that when our kids are the age, we want them to come here and we want to send our kids there.
We actually kind of were thinking about close to now for Caleb.
Yeah, especially like
in Italy.
Because right now with how the things are, because with my teaching, if all my teaching went online for the fall, we were thinking, you know what if we just all go for the semester and go travel, go someplace, do the 2-week quarantine, and then just live there for a few months, so the kids kind of have a study abroad experience, and then just homeschool them while we're there. So U.S. Marine Corps 22. Jocelyn, my wife is from Nicaragua. Our kids, my son is from Osaka, Japan. My daughter is from Xi'an, China, and our other daughter from Vietnam.
That's really cool.
That's awesome, dude. That is awesome.
You are like a walking United Nations. I love that. Very special.
Let's see.
And Nicaragua is one of my favorite places. Like I loved it there. I wanted to convince Mark to buy a little Isleta. Seriously, you can buy Isleta for like $250,000 with a house on it.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it's like in the middle of paradise.
Yeah, it is gorgeous there. So Thomas Reiser's dad's from Berlin, a village in Germany near Strasbourg. My mom's from Quebec, Alsace and Plymouth. Lots of mix there. Nice.
Wow.
Oh, sadly, a lot of businesses will go under. It's really sad.
So many.
Like they're saying, like 25% of restaurants, at least in Illinois.
Philippe, you are not the other one. He says, I really regret hoarding all my miles for that trip that isn't happening anytime soon. But you know what? It will. It'll happen. My first time at Disney World, I really wanted to ride the Aerosmith roller coaster, but the wait was like 4 hours. So halfway through, I had to go. I couldn't leave the line. Shit myself. to Aerosmith going 100 miles an hour.
Dude,
that is the best poop story ever.
That's why I hate those long lines. Oh my gosh, that sucks.
It's so wrong that you can't get out and go to the bathroom and come back.
Oh, dude, that's bad.
Shit. I mean, literally.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is dedication, right?
So Mo just asked his mom. Mom. She makes the Lebanese way. Oh, by the way, if you ever get a chance to eat Lebanese food, it's amazing. And it sounds crazy, but if you're ever in Sao Paulo, they have like a large Lebanese community and fantastic Lebanese food there. So that's really good. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate that.
Mo, I just totally took a picture of that. Tell your mother I appreciate it very much.
Liz, Christian, you didn't want to miss a thing.
Mud butter not. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody else did the ice pop thing too. The thing is, you've got to like cut them down far enough that your kids can easily see, oh, this is not supposed to be mine. This is mom's.
Yeah. So Chris Bates, the travel industry has tried to hold out, but now it looks like this virus will hurt corporate travel for a long time, and that's what pays the bills for Hertz and many hotel companies. And that's true. Like, as much as we want to think that the Deltas and American Uniteds love us economy people, no, they love the first class people because that's what really pays the bills. Because
those million milers, they pay the bills.
I mean, you think about it, when you got someone that's paying $12,000 for a ticket and you're paying $800, that is, they're buying 15 seats with that one. That's where their stuff is. So
it's the truth.
So we shouldn't be too mean to them when we walk by. I think that's why maybe we're supposed to thank them when we walk by. I don't know.
Oh, Francis asked about making a video. Any tips for beginners' mistakes I should avoid when making a travel video for YouTube? I don't want to do it all the time, but one for Michigan's coastal areas in the UP is needed.
Just be you. Be you. Make sure you have it this way. Don't do don't do this. Film like this. You want the
because YouTube doesn't. YouTube
like
is a TV screen.
Now, if you're going to be on TikTok, well, then do it that way.
Living it up when you're going down.
Oh, it's just gone everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Tom, that's true, Tom. Don't have to get up when you're retiring.
You know what, Thomas? I think that you need to go down to Savannah and see the Georgia. What do we name that now? The Georgia State Railroad Museum. So it's part of the Coastal Heritage Society. The company or the nonprofit I used to work for, runs several historic sites in Savannah, and one of them, we used to just call it the Roundhouse. But eventually the
Georgia State Railroad Museum.
Yeah, the state finally ponied up some money, and it is now the Georgia State Railroad Museum. But it's an incredible place, and it is. I think it is. No, I'm like 99% sure it is the oldest, the most intact, and oldest, most intact railroad in North America. I might be a little bit wrong on that, but it is antebellum, so pre-Civil War, and there is more of those buildings. Like we preserve stuff in Frogtown where the people who work for the railroad, we've got some of their houses still. I took classes in an old railroad museum or old railroad executive building, and then when I graduated, I ended up working. My office was in another building that unrelated, but still buildings from the railroad. You would absolutely love it. Okay. Sloan Mama, my son took his AP Stats exam today and is officially done with school for the year. Bring on summer or something like it. Oh man, praise God. That's an awesome thing right there. Funny enough, this girl can't do math, but stats is the only class I got an A in. And all of my friends who are like super mathematicians, like failed or got D's in stats. And I'm like, whoop, whoop. There must be something about, I don't know, my artistic mind that works with stats. I don't know. All right. Theme parks. Love them. Lebanese food. And you know what? One of my other favorites is Ethiopian food. And I can't get Lebanese food. I cannot get Ethiopian food. And I cannot get Peruvian food here, which sucks. Ooh, Kentucky has restaurants open at 33% capacity. So some bars are getting creative by offering peanuts or hot dogs to try to qualify as restaurants. I like it. We used to have a place in Savannah, the Rail Pub. If anybody's downtown on Congress Street, the Rail Pub was my old stomping grounds. They had peanuts and pickled pig's eggs, which if I got drunk enough, I would eat a pickled pig's eggs in like no big deal. But so I saw a thing today that was like 33%. So if you can't drink, as we got to make our money now, so if you can't drink three persons worth, then you're not allowed in. It was pretty funny. Hummus. Oh my gosh, I make some really good hummus. That's one thing I do well. I don't know. Chris, we're really glad that you got to make it to this too. Oh, you have to go grocery shopping. All right, have fun. Enjoy it. Derek, you're going to Hawaii? That's cool. Nick Peterson, I've never been on TikTok. Mark, what the hell are you doing over there? You've been gone for like an hour and a half.
I'm trying to buy some carrots. We have all those hummuses we bought.
Yeah.
It says use by May 26th.
Oh, it's fine.
What is today?
Oh, it's fine. We had a big jump.
I'm going to have 400 hummuses tonight to beat the use by date. I'm not wasting it.
Okay.
Don't gonna call me a hoarder.
Oh, Thomas, you can ride at the old one. We have steam engine rides. Ooh, and I actually know how to work the
She can work the engine, baby.
The turntable.
Right.
Jackass. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that e-learning is really difficult.
I got it.
Right there. Ethiopian food. Oh yeah, in New York you can totally get Ethiopian food. There's a huge Ethiopian community in DC also.
Okay.
But I'm just taking the one that's already open. You didn't get out my pimento cheese.
I didn't know if I was supposed to say that for tomorrow.
By the way, pimento cheese makes a hell of a good grilled cheese sandwich. Also, excellent on eggs. Oh. Francis, I've tried tripe before. I thought it was some dull, non-fat potato chip or something.
What?
Bless your heart. Not quite.
Christian Meadows, I do not take any chances with expiration dates.
I totally do, but also I haven't done what you did on the Aerosmith ride. Hang on.
You talked to Paul what TikTok is?
TikTok. The funeral feast. Awake. That's what it's called. That's what I wanted to answer.
Rick.
He loves carrots. Give him a damn carrot. Here you go, buddy. See, Mama loves you. Yeah, Daddy sucks. All right.
Really? He just spit it out.
No, he loves carrots.
He just spit it out.
What are you doing?
Because I didn't feed it to him.
Sit. Good boy.
So, Terry points out with Terry and with Mark's hype, can't really do too many of the rides. Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about
that.
that.
Yeah, because I don't know, it's like in Europe, if you're too fat like me, you can't ride a lot of the rides either. Just so you know.
On the fence a little with TikTok. My career in digital advertising led to knowing China could easily monitor all my app activity. Yes. I've actually been kind of peeved about Caleb on various apps because of that, but you know. Now we're eating. We should just talk.
So, so Texas restaurants can now have 50%. So, in terms of travel things on TikTok, it's more like, think of the short, funny videos and that you see on Facebook. It's like a bunch of that stuff. Basically.
Yep. All right.
And here's the thing. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, for creators, the only way you make money off that stuff is getting sponsorships and doing that. That's what it's for. It's not what. That's why it's not sustainable. Because there's no sponsors right now, so people aren't going to keep doing that to create a lot of stuff. It's like, oh, I'm cool now, but if you can't make a living out of it, people won't stick with it.
Francis, you and Mark were probably at Cedar Point at the same time at some point because that's all the man did when he was a kid. I have 7 on TikTok. I'm not in any of them. But the thing is Eric, is not that you're in them, but they can be.
The app that's on your phone has access to it.
Has access to
but here's the thing we also realize is you give that same access to like Angry Birds, Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on Facebook, like my friend won't read my blog because she goes, well, I can't get on your website without accepting cookies, and I don't want the cookies. I'm like, but you have Facebook. I mean, Facebook's essentially doing all the same things that the cookies on my blog are, because those are just advertising cookies, which are the same thing. So let's just be honest, none of us have any real privacy anymore. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So
let's see.
I thought TikTok was for people making silly videos while bored in lockdown.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, Paul.
I mean, it was big before, but I feel like it
really
boomed even more.
Well, because everyone was doing their TikTok dance things, you know, and all that. Because it's basically what Vine was before. Then Vine got bought and killed off, and
sometimes things do get bought just to be killed off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I have enough with like Facebook and Instagram, and quite frankly, I'm not a very good grammar. Especially now, like I don't have any good pictures. Like I haven't taken a picture in probably 2 weeks. That's terrible. I should be like documenting my children through this time, especially Caleb, because that boy's growing like a weed. I'm not kidding. I think he's grown like 4 inches since we've been in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago, like I could see it. I was like, whoa.
Tracy, I love roller coasters, but Melinda doesn't. But I get to go through the single rider lines and watch which are a lot shorter. That's the truth, Tracy, because often it's just me. But now that Caleb's tall enough, it's the two of us because Caleb and I can ride together. Let me tell you the surprise of surprises. 3 years ago, we went up to what's the one up in Chicago called? Great America. And Liam was tall enough to ride the Viper? No, what is it?
Raptor.
The Raptor. It's got like 3 loops. The child had never been on a roller coaster before in his entire life. And so I'm like talking him through it as we're going. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. It's going to go really slow and we're going to go up this huge hill really slowly. And I'll tell you, and we're going to go down. And he was like, okay. And I said, and then we're going to twist. And he's like, all right. And he had been watching it the whole time, just like nervous and excited, nervous, excited. We got up there and I looked over at his face. And as we start going down, and he's like, you just see the fear come over him and the tears come up. And then, like, no kidding, 2 seconds later, we start going through the twist. And he's like, yeah! He went from, like, abject
he went like
fear
4 times in a row
to,
too.
like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. He went with me. He went with Laura Brown. He went with me again.
Caleb.
He went with Angie.
Essie. Whoa, Essie.
With Angie and Essie. He just loved it. It was like the greatest thing ever. But that kid likes to go fast.
Yeah.
Like on Talladega Nights.
That's right.
Let's go fast.
So Calvin Young, I'm curious if you ever had to explain a touchy subject to your kids that you have seen or heard while traveling. Our son is only 2, but I see that happening the more we travel.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had to talk about prostitution. We've had to talk about drugs. We've had to talk about.
I mean, when you take your
begging,
kid to Amsterdam, we've also had to not talk about. We've talked about legitimate begging versus not legitimate begging.
Yeah.
We talk about pickpockets. We talk about kidnapping in some places. You know what? Here's the thing: you have to be honest, and you have to give it to them in a way that they can understand the severity of something.
Night, Marine Corps.
Good night. See you later. But you have to do it so that it doesn't totally freak them out, but they understand how very serious things can be, like especially when it comes to their own safety.
Yeah. And Caleb will be like, whatever. I'm like, no, dude, like, this is legit.
But he's 13.
Yeah.
And he does. You can see it when.
Yeah, he gets it, but he still has to say
it. Yeah. Jeremy says, being close to Kentucky, have you thought about doing the Bourbon Trail? So I've only been to the Jack Daniel's distillery, which the smell of made my mouth water. No, I'm good. So, but Brigadier wants one. He's a big fan of the carrot. He's a good puppy. Who's a good puppy? Maybe it'll make his breath not smell like fish. I'm telling y'all, my dog's food, it must have fish in it because he's
nasty.
Anyway, just be really honest with your kids and make them understand all aspects of it. I mean, when it's like we're walking through Amsterdam and there are naked windows in front of naked women in front of plate glass windows.
They got panties and small bras on.
No,
they
sometimes
do.
They have panties. They don't always have bras. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
They're family oriented.
But also, our kids grew up. I mean, or Caleb. We went to when he was 3. We were going to the beaches in Portugal, and people were regularly topless. It's not that it's a topless beach. It's just that people take off their top, and it's not a big thing. And that was never an issue, and we never made it weird or uncomfortable, and so it was really easy to get through. So there's that.
All right.
What? Hang on.
Now we got peasant. Let's see. Yes, Christian, Caleb, both the boys could game all day and all night. And they do a lot of times. We've kind of been crappy parents we haven't been bad, but like with the quarantine and stuff, like someone was saying before, their kid just did the stats AP exam. They're done for the summer.
No Scorpio suits.
Scorpio suit. Like when the boys were done with, like, look, you got your stuff done. I mean, that was like the reward. Like, how do we get them to do their stuff? We're like, hey, there you go. You get your work done for the week. You're free. And so we kind of use that. And now they're like, well, no, it's summer, so what's the problem? Like, we're at least getting into bed, thank God. But, and that's the thing. It's like we've had bad weather and they can't go see their friends and stuff. And so it's like, there's not, I mean, what can we do?
But they can play their games online with their friends. And we're very particular about you can only play with your friends.
Yeah.
You have to know this person. I have to know this person. We're careful about that stuff like crazy, but
yeah, actually, we had some.
I have not been on the Hulk at Universal. I'd really like to do that. I think that would be really fun.
Oh, slow mama. I would question your mamahood that your kids don't like roller coasters and you live in Ohio. My gosh. You must go to bed in shame every night. Bart, I'm sorry that we brought you all, the Facebook group brought you all back to the world of Facebook. I apologize.
So
yes, right. I am drinking from the Sam's Summer Variety Pack, by the way.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny. So I got on Facebook because, Nick, about the time you were going to college, I was graduating from college, and one of my very dear friends was, he was born in Seoul, South Korea, and raised in Connecticut, and we went to college together. And he had to go back and serve his, whatever, is it 3 years or something, with the army, and he was like in the DMZ, and it was just absolutely insane. Anyway, but he's like, you have to get on Facebook. So I literally got on Facebook so that he and I could keep in touch. And then 2 or 3 years later, I met this boy. He messaged me on the Facebook, and now we're married with babies and all of you friends.
That's right. So Micah Mine used to love roller coasters, but then his daughter broke him. Kids will do that. You're like, I'm done. I'm done. I understand, my brother. Derek's trying to figure out the Twitter. Dude, I've never figured out the Twitter. We could never get any traction on that. I don't understand how people get followed on Twitter. I just use Twitter.
I joined Twitter, and I followed Mark, and then I never got back on. Oh. So there's that. Yes, Nick, it is good to teach them about non-legitimate begging. I learned that since childhood, growing up in New York City, so I can pretty easily tell if it's legit or not. That's a huge thing. Like, in Lisbon, we would see people. There would be a guy who would drop off these women and children at certain spots early in the morning, and then you'd see them come back around and pick up those same women and children in the evening. And because we lived on that street, we could see it happen. But those kids who were like 3, 4 years old were lying in mom's arms the entire time. They didn't make noise. I mean, I saw them constantly because they were a block away from my house. Every time I left my house, I walked by them. And those kids never moved. I have issues. I have massive issues with that. I'm trying to say this without being ugly.
The kids, they would drug
They drug their children, so
it's disgusting.
That they just lay there.
And the thing is like, in some of these kids, the age they should be in school, and you'll get people say, "Well, that's their culture." I'm like, "No, this is no. The kid goes to school. The kid should be in school."
No, I don't even care about the school. You know what? If your culture is not to go to school, you don't freaking drug a kid.
And put them out there. I agree.
Can you imagine what these children will be like when they grow up? If
Night,
they've been drugged all the time. I'm disgusted by that. So our kids know that, and they know the nitty gritty of that. And part of it is because, Caleb lived, that's the thing.
So Scorpio Sue Instagrams my happy place, kids dancing, travel peeps, and Angela Kinsey from The Office. She's so funny. Yeah, I think the fact that things can just be visual and you don't have people having all the talking and all the stuff makes it a little bit easier to digest.
Thomas Reiser is baby boomer by 3 weeks.
There you go.
I think that 3 weeks makes you possibly Gen X-ish, right? Isn't that the next one?
There's always a window of how the generations go.
Yeah.
So you could be whatever you want, buddy. You be you.
You be you. That's such a millennial thing to say, Mark.
That's right.
Twitter confuses the crap out of me. Although Mark did Twitter in his classes, so he has these massive classes with like 500 or 600 students.
And students used to use it, it was really weird because I would get like 100 to 150 tweets in class because we had like a hashtag you'd follow, and they hashtag the question up. It's a big class; you can't get people.
You can't raise your arm and say, "Hey, I have this question." People are comfortable with that.
And so we did, and it worked really well. But it was funny because like from fall semester 2014, we're like 100 to 150 tweets a class. to spring 2015 semester, it went down to 5. Like that's when I'm like, no kids like Twitter. And honestly, I don't. I think if like the 2000s, I'm not talking politics. I'm just saying like, because President Trump uses Twitter, he literally saved Twitter. Because otherwise, no one was using it. No one was looking at it. No one, and now then he was.
They should just be like, "Thanks, Donald."
Yeah.
Thomas, I really do like Instagram. It took me a while to get into it, but I like to just sit and look at the pictures and not have like all of the political and what. I just don't want all the garbage. There's a lot of just visual and not a lot of like people's opinions that are ugly. I don't like ugliness in my life. I like things to be pretty positive. So
if you guys haven't noticed, we try to keep everything as positive we can.
Yeah.
Nick points out definitely have to be very careful about giving kid beggars money because that's almost never actually helping them. It is 100% true. You're not helping those kids. Because they're getting that money taken from them and they're being used for that. So they're not having a better life doing something else.
Right. Well,
and I want to talk.
Okay, but I do want to say something. There are places like in Nicaragua where the kid was like trying to sell us the roses made out of palm leaves.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? I don't want the palm leaf, but you know what? He was like looking at our food and I could see it in his face. And I said, do you want this? We're finished. Do you want it? He ate every bit of our food. I mean, that's something different. And giving food, I never feel badly about.
And I think Nick was talking about that. So he learned, the kids the people that were really begging versus the ones that were doing it for the money. You can see, and it's true. And I have a lot of videos like with pickpocketing and beggars and stuff like that. And people get so mean to me. How dare you not help those people out? I'm like.
Because they're some of them are getting state money.
Well, not just the state money, but some are using the system. And I mean, I still remember this day. So in Lisbon, there's a group of blind beggars that go on the metro. And they go on, they have their song and dance, they do all this stuff. And one day I was at a metro stop and I was having lunch.
Literally a song and dance.
Yeah, and I came in and they, like, 8 of them come in. I'm like, oh, it's all 8 blind beggars on the metro. They're all together. This guy walks them in, they order the food, they get their stuff. And they walks out with this other lady, and they're like, "You're on the red line, going this way." And they go down there, and I'm like, "Oh, it really is a system." And then one of the beggars I saw the most on there, he was doing his little da 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 da.
The short guy, I know it.
And it's really skinny, and he's like, he'd be kind of a jerk about it. People didn't give him money, and so the guy's like doing his thing, and he tells this guy, "Get out of the way! I'm blind. I got to get out of the thing. Move on." And the dude he was talking to was blind. And he freaking lit into this guy. It's like, because of jackholes like you, everyone thinks I'm a worthless POS where we're blind. We're not helpless. You get on here in this crap. And the dude is just like going off on him. I mean, I was like, dang. But it was true because the guy's like, you get on here and you're the only blind people see. And they think, oh, and he's like, I'm blind. I'm hopeless. There's nothing I can do. No one will give me a job. I'm pathetic. I mean, he was saying stuff like this. And the guy's just like, just went off on him. And I'm like, yeah, I never gave money to that guy. I'm like, no, because I know you're using the system, and that oh my god, I still remember that was like I can still see. I was sitting here, they were right there.
Hold my hand.
Thanks.
Hold my hand.
Moving on.
Nick says though, they're often forced to do these things. The kids are often forced to do this by shady adults. Mm-hmm. And that is a thing, and that is another reason I give food. So. As a Christian, I believe in helping the poor and doing whatever I can for people in whatever way I possibly can. My yaya, she always carried food in her car. She had cans of food, and they were pop-top cans, and she would literally tape plastic spoons to them. She would never give somebody money. She goes, I don't want to help them get drugs, and if they're trying to get out of that, I don't want to give them that. But I do want to help them, so I'm giving food.
And Mo points out, in Iraq, I saw loads of kids begging for money. The moment you paid one, a horde of kids would appear. Was told some of their parents would cut a hand or a leg to show that they were victims of war.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible? It's just, I mean,
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Kathy Fogg points
okay,
out.
Mo.
Kathy Fogg points out. I learned in Brazil to give food rather than the money.
Yeah.
That is it. I
That's
remember when
what
I
I'm
was in
saying.
Brazil, I would go around and like, cause I mean, there's real poverty there. Like, it's a different. Like going to Europe is very different. In the U.S., it's very different than going to Asia and going to South America. And so
Yeah.
when I would go to places, I go around and you could get like popsicles for like literally like 10 cents. So I just buy like 10 popsicles. The kids would come by, give them out.
We often, when we're in Central South America, like places that are more poor, we often carry food, like just candies, and we just hand out candy here and there.
Yeah.
Our kids also, like, we'll take a couple little toys here and there with us. They've got some in their backpacks, but as we travel around, they'll be like, "Oh, I really want that action figure," blah blah blah, and that action figure is maybe $1, and so we'll let them buy it and play with it for as long as they're going to play with it, and then they give it to someone else. And that's a big thing, giving that to someone who really, like, kids are playing with a stick and that's their toy.
So Nick Barnett says you're right. You can tell if you're offering them food and they're really starving, someone offers food, you'll take it. Yeah, like we have people here in our town that will stand out and like beg for food. And I remember I was like, don't give it to that guy. He's there all the time. He's not a real veteran. I'm like, don't give me that crap. And the guy, you try to give him like burger or something.
I went to the Burger King right around the corner, and I got a meal, like a decent meal, like with a good size everything, whatever, salad, French fries, a burger, and a drink. And I said, you know what? I don't have any money, but I will gladly give you this. And he said, yeah, I don't want that. And I was like, he said, I just want money. And I said, okay, I'm sorry. So I brought that. I was driving home, and my mailman was going by, and he was the second best mailman I've ever had. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. I said, have you had lunch yet? He said, no, I haven't. I said, do you want this? And he looked at me, his eyes just lit up, and he was so like, he goes, do you know how hard it is for mail carriers to eat? Because it's like I have to leave my route, or my food gets cold, I don't have a way to like whatever. And I was like, well, I am glad that I could just give to you today, so that's a big thing.
Yeah, Nick Barnes, seeing old people begging breaks my heart.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you see when it's an old lady doing it. It's different than when it's some 35-year-old guy. You're like, come on. It's a whole different level. Especially like in Greece during austerity times when people really hurting.
Really bad.
So
Mo says, I love the idea that you give soccer balls to kids when traveling, and that's better than TikTok or whatever.
So true.
So Mo, that is something I really wanted to get going, and it's kind of been put on the back burner during all this COVID thing. I want to start something called Have a Ball, Give a Ball. And I want to encourage people, and we're working on this with the guy that prints our t-shirts to get decent soccer balls and hand pumps, or solid balls would be even better, but those are pretty pricey. But if I can carry more balls if they're flat, right? So I really want to do this thing where you buy a ball for whatever the cost is. Like, just we'll sell them at cost. Or if people buy them above cost, then we will put whatever that is into buying more soccer balls and taking them with us. I think that's a huge thing. Especially like when we were in Africa, in Rwanda specifically, they're like a big thing with like coming back and giving back to their village. And if somebody made it big, because you gave them a soccer ball and then they came back and made their village better and stronger. One act of kindness can change a life and can change the lives of so many. And I love it. Okay, sorry.
So one person was pointing out, giving food is definitely a better way. I gave a couple of beggars a couple of dollars and watched them go to the liquor store. Yeah. I was visiting, my buddies and I had a guys trip. We met in Carbondale, Illinois, which is not the best place. It's a dump. And we went down there and we went to the liquor store, and this lady just kind of followed us in, got in line with us, was chatting with us and stuff. And then, like, we're paying for our stuff. She's like, hey, could you give me something? I'm like, and we've been drinking all day, so I was like, sure, what do you need? And she's like, I need a pack of this. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because she was like, a pack of cigarettes. I want the mini bottles of all this stuff. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'll get you a pack of cigarettes. I'm not buying like 900 things. And the guy shakes his head. She goes, she gets you guys every time. I'm like, what? She's like, college students come in. I'm like, first I was like, oh, thank you, by the way. But she's like, yeah, and that was just her little spiel. She'd come in and like get in line with the guys who've been drinking, and then she'd be there like, oh, hey, grab me some stuff, and they knew.
I wanna say this. Frances said her mother is a mail carrier, and they are the unsung heroes, and they really are. And I have been making a point to not only thank my USPS, but my UPS guy, my FedEx guy, anybody that comes, the Amazon guys, when they come by, truly the people running trucks in every whether it's USPS or FedEx or OTR, over the road truckers, like all of that, all those people, they are keeping our country going, and I appreciate it so much. I really just I just stop it. Just a thank you is something, but she is saying that there are not enough workers, so kind words, some Germex, granola bar. You know what? That's a good idea. I might just leave a granola bar for my guy tomorrow and just say, hey, thanks. You know what? I appreciate your thing, It's a big thing. Just giving a kind word.
That was another thing is I've talked to some homeless guys, and they're like, people don't talk to us, so I don't get, but I'm like, hey, you have a good day, man. Good to see you. Sorry I can't help out. And they're like, yeah, I appreciate it, because it's just the fact you acknowledge
that
they
you
exist.
Acknowledge they exist. Just say hello. We have a friend, Caleb's best friend. His dad is a minister. And he does this thing every year where he sleeps on the street to raise not only money but also awareness for the homeless. And it's in the first part of February. And if you've ever been to Central Illinois in the first part of February, it is absolutely unforgiving weather.
Thomas can legit that one.
Yeah, and
Thomas, you must not go on campus because there's a lot of beggars on campus.
Anyway, he goes and he sleeps on the street. It's called A Night to Remember. Is that it? And anyway, something like that. It's a really great organization, and like 99% of the money goes to that. Like 1% is literally for the advertising of it. It's an amazing group, but
I'm looking for Jay Swanson now.
He has enlightened me so much watching what he does. Okay, who's Jay Swanson?
Instagram dude.
Okay.
Apparently.
We'll find it.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All of those people. I don't recall them there. Oh, Purdue. Were you at U of I? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to check this guy out because everybody's like he's really cool. Hang on. What is that? Oh, I see. Purdue and Scorpio Sioux are talking on frontage roads. Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about here, and I'm like, did you go to U of I? I don't think that's right.
So anyway, so what are you guys gonna? So we've been talking about our trips and our kind of stuff. So what are some of the things that you guys think you're gonna do when you get to travel again? I mean, let's finish off on a positive note, like where we're gonna go travel, because I think for us.
Yes.
It's most likely we're going to do a road trip around our area. They go the UP and Wisconsin and stuff like that if we can do it. Hopefully, I mean, again, see how things go. But that's one of those things.
Habit Master, hang on, says we do a free dental day every year. Get all kinds of people. I had people in line shaming other people in line because they were too dirty. No, that's so sucky. Oh, that makes me unhappy.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me to leave. That wasn't kind of that's right.
There is dignity in everything. Just give people that. They're living, breathing human beings.
So Nick, we also do saying thank you to all the people at the stores when we go in.
We're huge about that. Like the people who are stocking stuff. My cousin's son, who I would call my nephew, he is. 1 minute, Brady. He is a stalker at Wegmans in Virginia, and he's like, people literally, it's like I don't exist. And so when he said that, but I talk to everybody because that's just who I am. But I have become even more cognizant of saying hello to people and things.
Yeah,
Habit Master, you need to go look at, what is Joe's thing?
I don't know. He wrote me today because
somebody else. It's Big Sky Adventures.
Yeah, that's the other person's thing. Let him out.
I get it. He doesn't want to go out. He's just sitting over there talking. He's mad at us.
So Christian wants to hit up some pilgrims to the holy sites and cathedrals in France and Poland. France is super nice. Poland, a lot of them got destroyed, but there's a lot of churches in Poland, so you can see a lot of cement churches when you're there. France sailed up to Michigan, though I'd rather be in Scotland and Spain. So would I. I hear you're there. Domestic. Oh, producer heading up to Utah. Tom is going out to Alaska, hopefully. Nice. Lori's still on for Italy mid-September. Fingers crossed we can all get there. That would be awesome.
Big Sky Anglers.
Oh, that's his. What was the other guy's name?
Big Sky Adventures. Oh my gosh, they super suck.
Yeah.
Joe Moore at Big Sky Anglers. I think it is just bigskyanglers.com. They have a Facebook page. So Joe went to high school with Mark. We were all friends, and he's a brilliant guy. He's been going to, he lives there. He's been living there since high school, I think. But he runs some serious fly fishing, all different kinds of fishing tours and stuff. And we have not yet taken one. I really want to do it. But what I can tell you for certain is that Joe is an amazingly good human being. He knows his stuff, like inside and out. So check that out if you want to fish. Also, the Great Lakes are incredible for fishing. The entire coast, oh my gosh, I used to fish like mad in Savannah. That was one of my favorite things to do when I lived there. So Jeremy says we booked our first all-inclusive trip to Cozumel in October. Not sure if it'll go through, but we're hoping.
Fingers crossed. By then, I think you might probably.
Musings at Midlife, Door County this fall. Let me tell you, I love Door County. So awesome. Yes, Megan, you may not go to Tucson.
Yeah, in July. Don't go there. Yes, Wilmington would be much.
Wilmington is good. Better? Wilmington's actually really cool. There's a little island called Oak Island right outside Wilmington. One of my dearest friends, she grew up there, and Oak Island, OAK. Oak Island has some really great fun fishing, very easy, cool people. So, yep.
So let's see.
All right.
Whoa, see, tough. So we got some. Hopefully, Mike and I get to Seattle. Ronnie still got his stuff for Italy next January. Pennsylvania in July and September, hopefully, if it's opened up.
I think you'll be okay.
Calvin, Smoky Mountains this summer.
Oh, the Smoky Mountains.
If it's open, when you're driving through, there's a lot of natural waterfalls and natural water slides you can hop off and do.
One particular one that almost kicked my butt, but it's the big one. Check that out. Brigadier. Can y'all hear him? He's just like whining something fierce. No, actually he's talking. He sounds like Scooby-Doo actually. So anywho, the Smokies are great. Take your time. That is my biggest piece of advice. And don't plan too much because you'll see things as you go and you're just like, ooh, I want to do that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of turn-offs and you're going to stop and end up staying for an hour someplace here and there. So.
We're like, oh, we're just going to get out and hike for a minute. Oh yeah, that minute turned into 5.5 hours. I mean, that happens a lot.
I forgot about that. The Cherry Cove or whatever, Cherry Outlook. So
yeah.
Billy's thinking about heading to UP. Maybe some Memphis and Chicago.
Yes.
Yes,
Billy,
Lori. It's always good to see you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Galvanti
Gals are all over. I know they got their Outer Banks, Savannah, Charleston.
And then either through the Dakotas and Western National Parks or into Canada and Banff. Yeah, if that Canada border opens up, right?
Yeah, so Nick was looking at doing 20 countries over the summer from now to August.
Nick, that was our thing this year. It was 20 countries in 2020.
And we got to 2. So
2 is less than we get in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liz, going to U.S. road trip. Hopefully Canada if it opens up.
Yeah.
Kathy's Canadian Maritimes. Nice.
That would be good.
Oh, dang it. It just jumped on us.
That was a big
As everyone that does live feeds know, the jump Y'all know the jump.
So irritating. How did I get into fishing?
This guy she was dating went fishing, and they fished.
I fished long before that.
Santa Fe is nice, but you'll get a little turquoised out, let's just say.
My family, my uncle was a charter fisherman. I don't know, my dad took me fishing as a kid. We always lived near water. Even if we lived in the Midwest, there was a river or something. I just love to fish. I can sit on a boat all day. And there was a guy that I dated, and he loved to bass fish, which is, I don't love bass fishing. There are other kinds of fishing I would rather do, but we would go at like 4:30 in the morning. We'd go out to the Mississippi River, and I would take my book and throw my line in and read a book. Mark takes naps.
I go fishing specifically to drink and sleep, and my brother would get so mad at me because he's like, "You gotta take this serious." I'm like, "I am."
Your brother takes everything serious.
Yeah. So anyway, some other stuff.
Not that related, I think.
Frances going up to UP. She used to go up to her uncle used to go up to UP every year and get salmon and sturgeon. Nice.
Sturgeon. Oh yeah.
Nick Bates. Don't go to Vegas in July. Yeah. Oh, 120 degrees. And oh, my dude, that's horrible. Like
so y'all are having like some serious heat out west, and we're like not over here. Yeah. When Dad was in Arizona, it was like 101 in like March, the end of March. That's insane.
Nick had already been in 19 countries so far in this year. Nice. Yeah, Megan, my passport is begging for some stamps too. Katie Smith, looking at New Orleans. Good to see you, Katie.
Yeah.
Chandler, I'm up in the Pacific Northwest. I'm excited to go to Olympic National Park soon. Any recommendations for greater Seattle area? If you go a little bit north, there's a walk, like a long bridge you can go walk on. It's like in the trees, but it's like expensive. There's other options out there. You don't have to do that one. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Megan's passport is desperate for more stamps. I know mine is feeling a little bit like unloved right now. I can see it.
It like turned my eyes away when I had to look at them to see that they were going to be expiring.
Yeah.
Yes, heat equals me dead too there, Francis. I feel your pain.
Not me. Give me the heat all day long.
Yeah, Christian, your fear of fishing is true, so just prepare yourself.
What? There's fear of fishing?
Oh, Kathy Falk, 4 minutes, I'm worth $298 million. I swear I'll split it with all of you. Be careful what you say.
Don't say things like that.
Notice Kathy Falk does not have a picture, so we don't know who she really is.
That's the truth.
That could be a fake name.
Oh, goodness.
Purdue, I'm just glad your stream is on. Yeah, it's weird.
That has literally never happened.
No, the buffering happens, but it was weird this week.
That.
Yeah, this week was horrible. So I'm sorry for that, folks.
We have a little bitty thing.
So Habit Master, the Canadian border, you can still fly in. I think it's maybe end this month or early next month. It's theoretically might open. So I would assume that the Canadian-U.S. border will open. You'll see a lot of like travel bubbles where it'll be like a couple countries next to each other will open up or certain things.
To one another.
And a lot of European countries are doing that. Like we're letting in people from this, and this place. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So you really got to really read up on everything before you go. If you even let you go. So
Derek and Mo, I think you two should get together and hang out up there in Northern Ireland, right? Isn't that's where you are, right, Mo?
Yeah, Mo's up there.
It's in Northern Ireland. Yeah, you would enjoy it, and I think that the two of you would have so much fun together.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark, you need to watch Monsoon Season, as Liz is saying. July and August are monsoon season. You're a little bit better up north at the Grand Canyon. It's a little bit better, but yeah, you don't want to get washed out. Also, the Grand Canyon is only letting people in. Chris Bates is gone now, but is it 6 to 10? I thought it was 8. Anyway, it's a very limited time right now, and I'm sure that will change. You can only go for like between these hours. But once they close that gate, y'all are the only ones in the Grand Canyon. And as someone who has been to the Grand Canyon for many decades.
Yes, Chandler, that's the one I was talking about.
Many times, many decades. It is rare to get there and not have 500,000 people in your face. So that would be a really great thing.
So Nick Barnett's pointed out, I think they extended the U.S.-Canada border closure for non-essential travel until later in June. Yeah, something like that. I know they'd passed. Okay. Yeah, Billy Rubens had the end of August monsoon season. Yeah, it gets. Yeah, it's
he
no
said,
joke.
"Holy guacamole, it's no joke."
Yeah,
that is so true.
Tom, my passport, I want to get filled up too, man. I feel it. I feel you, my friend. Night, Francis.
Good night, Michael.
So Calvin wants to know. Pure ignorance here. It's not. Don't worry. Well, why are some names in color and some aren't? So what we do is we have Patreon, and then we like the pages on Patreon, and we have the members on YouTube. So if you're colored, like the blue and
blue is our moderators.
Blue's moderator. Yeah, so they can that's why they have a little ratchet moderator. There. And then green, you're a member, and then the ones that don't have the color, there are our patrons, because I have this set up as an unlisted video, so unless people have the actual link, they can't see it. They can't find it. Yeah. And so I post that on Patreon, and I post it on our members feed on YouTube. And so that posts and the Superheroes Facebook group. So if you're not on there and you want to be on there, send me a message. And so that's why it's come out. So like Megan, she's a patron, but then like Calvin is a member. So you have those things. And then like Means to Travel, moderator and a member. So moderators just mean when we have our live feeds, if people are getting stupid, they can like put people in timeout or stop them from posting. You can just tell them
to cram it in their pie hole is basically what happens.
Yeah. So.
Right?
So where is that? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thomas Reiser, I think 21st of June. Yeah.
Nick Barnett, even though I hate hot weather and handle cold much better than hot, I'd like to go to Death Valley in July since I'm a big weather nerd and think it would be interesting to experience. So Nick, if you're a weather nerd, do that. But also then go down to Arizona, Phoenix and south really get a ton of monsoons. You'll get them north of Phoenix, but it's not as amazing as it is in the south. Like, you would love it, but stay the heck away from the washes. But the lightning storms are just incredible. You should totally do that.
So Germany, we'll finish off with this one. Have you thought about immigrating to any specific countries?
Yes.
We have. I mean, I've lived in quite a few countries. You have lived in a couple, and I would immigrate. Place I'd like to immigrate to: France, Italy, Jocelyn, I think Nicaragua.
France, Italy, Greece, Nicaragua. Nika, I would just like to have a place to go and visit.
Hi, Lauren.
I don't know that I want to. Oh, hey, Lauren. I don't know that I want to go and live there like full time. I want to visit it. I want to soak it up, but I want to like live and work in Greece and in Italy and specifically Paris. Paris energizes me in a way other places don't. So
yeah,
those are
Heather W. Hey,
right now.
What we Canadians understand is no international travel this summer. I think that means the U.S. border will stay closed. Yeah. So the driving border is closed, but from what people have told me, there is still a chance you could fly between the two. So there is that. But this thing is changing so fast; it's hard to really know. Like I filmed a bunch of videos. Like this week, we had the how air travel will change. When can we travel again? Tomorrow's video will be how airports will change. We have to film how accommodation will change. And the thing is, we're giving general kind of stuff that people need to think about because there's so many things that could totally change. That we're like, look, here's some things you should think about. And so that's why, with the borders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we're gonna in 3 weeks we'll recheck this and see how things are, and you have to stay at certain phases for so long, and certain things have to happen. So it is one of those things there.
Yep.
Yes, Chris, I would love to do a Paris trip right now too, my friend.
I don't know the last time we weren't in Paris. We're in Paris every year. No, I mean
the last year.
We go at least every year.
Yeah, and the thing is,
long
it's not. And here's the thing: is we will do our trips to Europe, and we fly out of Paris. So we'll do our trip, and then we'll end up in Paris for a few days to fly out from there.
I get my hair cut and I go shopping because most of my clothes come from Paris or TJ Maxx or Target.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
Yeah. So good night, Habit Master. So 2 hours in, we're gonna call it a night. I'm so glad that you all are members and patrons, and you're all our friends and all this fun stuff. We really appreciate it. If you can't tell from yawning the last half hour, 2 days of getting up early for real work stuff. Oh, it's the worst. But we want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to all of you for everything you do. The support you guys show us, just the comments and the likes and everything. It really means the world to us. So just want to say thank you, everybody. And yes, the DNA test stuff can be really inspirational, Francis, to find new place to visit, which is really kind of cool. So anyway. Well,
all right.
we wish you all the best. You have a great night.
Everyone. Mo, you are up way too late.
Yeah, get some sleep, dude.
And you way out west. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
That's right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Ron. Bye,
see you.
Derek and Lise, Calvin, everybody. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.